I'm a mortuary makeup artist. During a live stream where I was sharing makeup tips, a superstar actress called me out by name. Her tone was dripping with contempt. Doing my makeup will be the honor of her lifetime, little girl. But she didn't know I only do makeup for the dead. The stronger the death energy, the more beautiful the result, and the more flawlessly the makeup sets. My name is Emma. I'm a mortuary makeup artist, though for the sake of modern trends, I just say I'm a makeup artist. Most of my clients are dead. I help send them off on their final journey with dignity. My fate is said to be so cursed that my parents were gone the day I was born. To pay for college tuition and living expenses, I started a live stream to share beauty tips. The moment I went live, a small wave of viewers trickled in. Scammers are a dime a dozen these days. Looks like anyone will do anything to chase clout. Hey, streamer, you're so pretty. Why use a mannequin? Let a real man be your model. It was late, and the comments in the chat were getting more and more disgusting. I ignored them, my hands moving with steady, precise motions as I applied makeup to the mannequin head. Makeup is an art of enhancement, I explained. We can choose different styles for different occasions to conceal flaws, highlight our best features, and beautify our image. Vintage-inspired looks are one such category, and that's our focus tonight. When applying the foundation, we aim for a base that is sheer, clean, and natural, while also being effective at covering up any lividity. My hands froze, a slip of the tongue. Almost instantly, the number of viewers in my stream skyrocketed from a few hundred to over 100,000. A notification popped up on the screen. Chloe Nash wants to go live with you. I spoke in a flat tone. I only discuss topics related to makeup. If you have questions, please type them in the chat, and I will answer them in detail. Before I could finish, the chat exploded. Streamer, open your eyes. That's the A-list actress Chloe Nash. Who do you think you are, playing hard to get? I'd advise the streamer not to keep our goddess waiting. Otherwise, there's no telling what we might do. I thought about how unhinged her stands could be. My hand faltered. Reluctantly, I accepted the request. The face that appeared was a stunningly beautiful woman in a silk robe. Her features were exquisite and radiant. Her hair was up in a messy bun, revealing a long, elegant neck. Emma, the makeup artist, right? The chat flew into a frenzy. OMG, it's really Chloe. She's so beautiful. The top-tier goddess of the entertainment world. Chloe gracing this tiny stream with her presence? The streamer must be losing her mind with joy. Losing my mind with joy? Not exactly. More like this was going to be a real pain. I looked at the woman's delicate features, which held a captivating charm, and her crimson lips that looked so alluring. I narrowed my eyes and smiled. Chloe Nash, the youngest A-list actress in the industry, hailed as a once-in-a-millennium beauty who had never lost a who's prettier comparison with other female stars. She was constantly going viral for her red carpet looks and airport paparazzi shots. She was also the name the decapitated ghost in the morgue where I moonlighted couldn't stop muttering. I'm on set for the next few days, and my makeup artist bailed. You're up. Chloe Nash barely lifted her eyelids, her voice laced with disdain. Getting to do my makeup will be the honor of your lifetime. She was condescending, and it wasn't a request, it was a summons. That really started to tick me off. This makeup artist must have some serious ancestral luck to be able to touch our Chloe's face. OMG, hurry up and thank her. Chloe, pick me. I'll do it. I glanced at the screen. Her face? I really didn't want to touch it. It was just too dirty. When I didn't answer right away, the fans in the chat started threatening me, even saying they'd send me razor blades and report my channel. I wiped the remaining foundation off the mannequin's face and sighed in defeat. Some things you just can't avoid. Chloe's shooting schedule was tight. The very next day, I was on a bus to the film set. I arrived late at night. Her assistant explained the movie to me. It was a historical horror film. For some unknown reason, Chloe's makeup artist had suddenly quit, even paying a hefty contract termination fee to get out. Filming was scheduled to start after midnight. At the strong insistence of her fans, I was allowed to live stream from her dressing room. You're here. Chloe was alone in the room. She was already in costume, a wedding dress the color of deep, dark blood. For a moment, I could almost smell the stench of blood emanating from the fabric. Her face was pale as she slowly, mechanically applied something to her skin. As I got closer, I saw there was nothing there. All right, everyone, the wait is over. Come watch Chloe on the set of The Phantom Bride. Ugh, I can already feel the creepy vibes from here. I took out my makeup kit and asked her one more time, seriously, Miss Nash, are you sure you want me to do your makeup? Chloe was dabbing a clear liquid from a small box onto her face again. She looked up annoyed. Emma, what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to tank your career? Remember this, doing my makeup is an honor. Since she put it that way, there was no point in arguing. I nodded and replied earnestly, of course. With a face like yours, the result is guaranteed to be beautiful and flawless. My hands moved with steady, precise motions applying the makeup. Before long, a face of eerie beauty emerged. Her skin was as smooth and flawless as snow, perfect from every angle. Chloe picked up a lipstick from the table and lightly applied it to her lips. In an instant, she transformed, as if she had put on a new skin, radiating a seductive aura. I squinted at the lipstick in her hand. It was a brand I'd never seen. The case is sinister, dark red. A foul, fishy smell hit my nose. Okay, but for real, how is Chloe so beautiful even without makeup? Her skin is so perfect, it's literally like a baby's. OMG, I need Chloe's skincare routine. Seeing the comments, I narrowed my eyes and smiled, speaking slowly. That's because it is a baby's skin. The moment I said it, the chat started scrolling wildly. Guys, did the makeup artist get script too? She scared the crap out of me. This makeup artist is so creepy. She's freaking me out. Chloe stared at me, her eyes wide with terror. I admire my handiwork. A flawless face, the makeup perfectly set, natural and seamless. Chloe glared at me, her tone sharp. What are you talking about? Get out. I spoke calmly. I'm just a makeup artist. But, Miss Nash, that face mask made from infant skin and that lipstick rendered from corpse fat. How do they feel? Chloe's eyes bulged in shock and horror. You're talking nonsense. Get her out of here. The assistant kicked me out. It was already 2 in the morning. I was in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by wilderness. The death energy was thick in the air. Streamer, are you an idiot? What was that nonsense? If you're jealous of Chloe, just say so instead of making up disgusting things. Chloe's way too nice. If it were me, I'd have slapped you across the face. Chloe worked so hard to get this role in The Phantom Bride. This psycho streamer really knows how to pick her moments to be a creep. I adjusted my phone's camera and spoke slowly. The death energy has spread through her entire body. Today, she is doomed. Things obtained through illicit means always have to be paid back in another way. The chat was still going wild, filled with insults. My expression didn't change as I said flatly. Her karmic debt is too high, and she's drowning in resentment. I'm afraid she won't be going home tonight. Thinking of that, I suddenly remembered I hadn't been paid. I smacked my forehead in annoyance. What a huge loss. While I was bickering with her fans, I heard a commotion from the direction of the film set. I rushed over to see what was happening. There, lying on the ground, was Chloe Nash in her blood-red wedding dress. Her face was deathly pale, her eyes wide open, her lips a shocking red. A metal rod had pierced straight through her chest. The smell of blood was overwhelming. The next evening, my live stream was flooded with viewers the moment I went online. You, in your big mouth, why don't you just die? You cursed our Chloe to death. To be fair, this has nothing to do with the streamer. Chloe's stunt wire snapped. Who knew she'd have such bad luck and crash right into the rigging? Speaking of which, streamer, you were being super creepy yesterday. What was all that about an infant mask and corpse oil? Are you talking about black magic? I brought out my mannequin and said softly, it's exactly what it sounds like. The mask she used was made from an infant's skin, and the lipstick was rendered from corpse fat. It prevented the baby's soul from moving on to reincarnation. Naturally, she was swamped with yanqi, and when she couldn't suppress it anymore, she suffered the backlash. Then I cracked a smile. Just kidding, of course. And everyone should believe in science. A row of ellipses filled the screen. Suddenly, my screen was covered by flashy effects. Gigi's Grub sent you 30 super rockets. Hey, isn't that Gigi's Grub? The mukbang streamer who ate 10 pork knuckles and 10 packs of ghost pepper noodles a while back? Yeah, that's her. She hasn't streamed in a while. I wonder what happened. Probably wrecked her stomach. No normal person can eat like that. She'll eat herself to death. I spoke calmly. Hello, what can I help you with? Gigi's Grub. Hi, streamer. I have a question. I have these 3 little pimples on my face that won't go away, even after seeing doctors and going to beauty clinics. Can you take a look? For the sake of 30 super rockets, I accepted her request to go live. A woman with a great figure and messy hair appeared on screen. The most striking thing was the 3 blemishes on her face. You couldn't even call them pimples anymore. There were 3 massive boils, one on her forehead and one on each cheek. They were the size of quail eggs, oozing white pus mixed with blood. Ugh, I'm trying to eat my late night snack here. This is so gross. So disgusting. Those are boils, right? No wonder she stopped streaming. I'm about to throw up last night's dinner. Oh my god, is that really the beautiful food blogger Gigi? What happened to her? She looks like a monster. Gigi saw the comments and bit her lip, embarrassed. Emma, these 3 boils have been here for over a month. I've tried everything, but they won't go away. If I pop them, they just grow back bigger the next day. I gently touched my mannequin's face, squinting slightly. Of course you can't get rid of them. Gigi looked like she had found her savior. Emma, you're obviously an experienced makeup artist, so you must know how to deal with skin problems. I'm really at my wit's end. I haven't been able to stream for a month, and with no income, I can't even pay my team. I nodded, slowly applying foundation to the mannequin. I said casually, it's simple. You need to build a shrine for them. Make sure their families are taken care of, and donate all the money you've earned over the years. Accumulate good karma. Once their anger subsides, they'll leave. My tone shifted. Of course, that's just a possibility. As soon as I said that, Gigi's expression turned from panic to furious. You trash streamer, you're talking nonsense, she spat. I thought a makeup artist hired by an A-list actress would have some special skills. Turns out you're just a lying fraud. My expression remained impassive. I've been in this business for decades. I can spot this sort of thing. Anyway, I've told you the solution. I'm not giving you a refund. She shot me a venomous glare and ended the co-stream. TSK. I gave her the answer, but if she won't do it, what can I do? Seeing it was getting late, I ended my stream. A couple of days later, Gigi showed up in my live stream again, repeatedly requesting to go live with me. I was going to ignore her, but my chat was already flooded. Trash streamer. You're not even licensed. How dare you stream with your level of skill? You're going to lead people astray. Psycho streamer spouting nonsense. Everyone report her. Get her off the platform. The chat was scrolling frantically. I accepted Gigi's request. Gigi appeared on the screen. The 3 boils on her face were gone. In their place was a delicate, pretty face with fair, smooth skin. She had large, almond-shaped eyes, and her hair was in 2 pigtails, making her look cute and energetic. A huge spread of food was laid out in front of her. It looked like she had just started her own stream. Her eyes were full of malice as she greeted me. Emma, long time no see. How have you been? I looked at her flawless face and squinted slightly. I replied flatly, thank you, I've been great. We maintained a friendly facade, but the chat was in chaos. Guys, you heard, right? This trash streamer was trying to scare our sweet Gigi, almost making her quit mukbanging for good. Our Gigi is so great. She started her own business before even graduating college and treats her employees so well. This streamer is just trying to leech off her popularity. Hey, speaking of which, has anyone seen the heavy hitter stream lately? Seeing the chat filled with insults directed at me, a flicker of triumph crossed Gigi's face. Oh, you guys stop it. Emma was just trying to help me. My boils are all gone now. How? I just went to a salon and got a facial. She seemed to be in an excellent mood, cheerfully answering questions from her chat. People's curiosity is insatiable. Soon, both of our streams were trending at #1 on the platform. Seeing more and more people flood in, Gigi could barely contain her joy. I spoke with a meaningful tone. It seems you've chosen another path, drowning in resentment, amplified by death energy. Tonight, you are doomed. Gigi was still basking in the glory of hitting 1 million viewers. All right, everyone, that's enough. That's enough. Emma was just trying to get more viewers. That's all. Gigi looked at me with disdain. Drowning in resentment? Please, Emma, do tell. I'm all ears. Out of respect for the 30 super rockets, I offered a final piece of advice. The 3 partners you killed are still with you. That's why your boils wouldn't go away. At this, Gigi burst out laughing, tears forming in her eyes. Her expression was dismissive, her tone exaggerated. Emma, there you go again with your nonsense. You say I killed people? Then how come the police haven't arrested me? How am I still sitting here just fine? Exactly. This trash streamer is just making things up. A makeup artist? Who streams in the middle of the night? I think she's a psycho. But for real, guys, the heavy hitters haven't streamed in a long time. Someone said they made enough money and went home to enjoy life. I watched the energetic Gigi, and on her shoulders, I could see 3 fat men. Their bodies were bloated, with huge bellies hanging down. Their faces were a grotesque purple-green, and they were staring intently at her. Those 3, they're with your streamer right now. Gigi shot me a scornful look and ignored me. Seeing her live viewers had surpassed 1 million, and it was about time, she announced cheerfully, "All right, everyone, to celebrate Gigi's comeback tonight, I'm going to devour 10 giant pork knuckles and 3 whole roast chickens for you. See you all on my stream. Let's not disturb Emma's stream any longer." Ha! The moment she cut the feed, only a few people remained in my chat. Damn, what kind of dark magic did that mukbanger use? Her face is completely clear. I remember my pimples used to take a week to heal. No wonder my wife loves going to salons. Not even a rejuvenation pill could work that fast. A few scattered comments flickered by. Suddenly, a huge wave of viewers poured into my stream, and the chat exploded. "I'll streamer help. Help." She exploded. She exploded. "Dear God, I'm traumatized. Help, I need to unsee that. Give me a pair of eyes that didn't just witness that." People, this is more terrifying than a horror movie. I'm never watching a mukbang again. "Streamer, explain." I put my mannequin away. I spoke calmly. "The people you call the heavy hitters are dead. They ate themselves to death. Their unexpected deaths filled them with anger, so they lingered around the person responsible, unwilling to leave. Then, Gigi used skincare products made with corpse fat, which attracted death energy. The 3 spirits saw their chance and made their move." After a pause, I added with a small smile, "But we should all believe in science. I was just making it up." I faced the camera. "That's all for tonight's stream. See you all tomorrow." With that, I ended the broadcast. After logging off, I opened X and saw that Gigi's Grub Explodes was already a top trending topic. Some troublemakers had even posted screenshots and screen recordings from the livestream. In the pictures, she had a half-eaten pork knuckle stuffed in her mouth, her eyes bulging, her face a bluish purple. Her stomach had burst open, and undigested food and intestines spilled out onto the floor as the crew members around her fled in terror. A few moments later, all those photos and videos were scrubbed from the internet. I allowed a deep sigh. This is why people always say to do good deeds and accumulate good karma. What goes around comes around. As I lay in bed, I realized something strange. Infant skin masks, corpse oil lipstick. Gigi had also used skincare products made from corpse fat, tainting herself with death energy. So what was the connection between the infant skin masks and the corpse fat products? The moment I went live that night, a large crowd of viewers poured in. OMG Emma, I posted the video of me slapping my own face. Please go take a look. I repent. I'm so sorry. Emma, no. Goddess Emma, I'm the psycho. I'm the idiot. Please don't hold it against me. Emma is a true psychic. She says someone is doomed, and then they're gone. She's never wrong. I set up my mannequin. My hands moved with steady, precise motions as I applied the foundation. If you believe, it is. If you don't, it isn't. Just do good deeds and accumulate good karma. Let's continue with our makeup lesson. Makeup is an art of enhancement. We can choose different styles for different occasions to conceal flaws, highlight our best features, and beautify our image. When applying foundation, not only should it be clean and natural, but it should also help repair issues like redness and damaged skin. As I was talking, a notification appeared on the screen. Leo Vance sent you 10 flying Ferris wheels. Who's this whale dropping flying Ferris wheels? Doesn't he know our goddess Emma doesn't bow to money? She only shares makeup knowledge. Exactly. Emma is above all that. You think $1 million can buy her integrity? That's ridiculous. $50,000. My tuition was more than covered. I will absolutely bow for money. Please, bury me in it. I quickly accepted the request to go live, flashing a perfect 8-toothed smile. Hello, what can I help you with? The man on the other end of the screen had a refined face, his dark hair falling naturally over his deep-set eyes. He looked pale and despondent. Hello, Emma. His voice was hoarse and low. He seemed embarrassed as he began. I heard you're a makeup artist. I was wondering if you could do my makeup. Hey, this handsome guy looks a little familiar. Who is he? I remember now. That's Leo Vance, the actor who retired to get married a while back. OMG, yes, that's him. He quit acting for love. I cried for 3 days straight over that. I was surprised. Are all the A-listers coming to morticians for makeup now? I kept my professional smile, my attitude warm and generous. Of course. What kind of look are you going for? Innocent student, gentle upperclassman, successful businessman? I can do it all. I've been in this line of work for so many years. I've seen every kind of corpse imaginable. Designing a simple look would be a piece of cake. The man was gentle and composed, with a peaceful aura. No death energy. Okay, this was a safe job. He seemed to hesitate. No, it's women's makeup. The pure, innocent type. I understood. In that case, could the person come here? I'd like to see her first. I needed to check if she was entangled with any death energy. Otherwise, a mortician's makeup would amplify it, and she'd be dead in minutes. He closed his eyes, his voice strained. It's for me. Guys, did the actor transition? Or is his wife into this kind of thing? What's with the big reaction? I hate it when people overreact. It's his business. Do more, talk less. Leo closed his eyes again, his face racked with pain. My wife. I think she's fallen for another woman. She wants a divorce, and I don't understand. We were so in love before. How did it come to this? I just want to try to see if it's about my looks or if it's about my gender. This is the look I want. Please take a look, Emma. I nodded and leaned closer to the screen. The woman in the photo was pure and lovely, her small belly swollen. She was stroking her stomach with a look of pure happiness. As soon as the stream ended, I received an address from Leo Vance. The Cypress Estates, Unit 12. It was one of the most secure and private gated communities in the city, home to business tycoons and celebrities. When I arrived the next day, I could practically feel tears of envy streaming down my face. Leo came to greet me personally. Thank you for making the trip, Emma. Nina isn't back yet. We can start on the makeup. I nodded. Of course. No problem. As I worked, Leo told me the story of how he and Nina met and fell in love. Coincidentally, Nina was Chloe Nash's sister. Leo gave a bitter smile. Nina and I fell in love on set. After we got together, I shifted my focus to our family. We've been so happy these past few years. We were even trying for a baby. I don't know. His eyes reddened, his face filled with pain and confusion. I came back from an event a while ago and found Nina completely cold to me. She said she wanted a divorce, that she'd fallen for someone else. I nodded. Her best friend? Yes. And her friend is pregnant. I just don't get it. What did things go wrong? Before long, a pure and lovely face emerged under my hands. Leo nodded, his eyes still filled with unbearable pain. This is it, Emma. We went downstairs, only to find 2 women sitting on the sofa. One of them, a delicate-looking woman, shot Leo a hostile look the moment she saw him. Her tone was aggressive. Leo, what are you still doing here? I told you I want a divorce. I found the person I truly love. Can you please stop harassing me? And dressing up in this freak show getup won't change anything. Leo forced a bitter smile, his eyes filled with anguish. After her tirade, Nina carefully helped her heavily pregnant friend up the stairs, as if she were handling a precious treasure. I asked quietly, has Nina been acting strangely in any other ways recently? Leo thought for a moment. She's been going to a new beauty clinic a lot. I mulled this over and asked, "What's it called?" "Beauty Immortal." I narrowed my eyes slightly. "Perhaps. Your wife isn't in love with her friend. She's in love with the baby in her friend's womb." We followed Nina to the Beauty Immortal clinic, but it was located in a very secretive place. Getting in required multiple security checks and an invitation card from an existing member. Leo asked me, "What now?" I said calmly, "We wait." Leo and I waited for a long time. We watched as Nina emerged from the clinic looking relaxed and joyful, got into a car with a license plate, AYY 3468, and drove away. Back at his place, I couldn't find any information about this clinic through any channel. It was as if its existence had been deliberately hidden and protected. It was like it had appeared out of thin air. Yet, it was a highly sought-after spot for the wives of celebrities and business magnates. Chloe Nash had been a regular client. Gigi's Grub had gotten her boils treated there too. I'd seen the same death energy on all of them, and something about this clinic felt familiar. It was like I had walked into a massive web. A few days later, I got a message from Leo. I stood up. It was time to close the net. I took a car to the Beauty Immortal clinic and saw a familiar license plate, AYY 3468. Nina, wearing a mask and sunglasses, got out of the car. She was clutching a tightly wrapped bundle. I used the Beauty Immortal card I had taken from Leo's house. I got in without a problem. The corridor inside was long, lined with closed doors. Pale, fluorescent lights hummed quietly overhead. At the end of the hall was a staircase leading down to a basement. It was eerily silent, not at all like a popular beauty clinic. The basement had the same layout, with tightly shut doors. Suddenly, I heard a baby's cry. The cry grew more piercing, as if it was in immense pain. A furious shout came from behind me. I turned to see a woman in a white lab coat charging at me, yelling. More footsteps echoed. I burst through a door and saw a collection of dark, sinister-looking surgical tools. The woman was tackled to the ground. Freeze! The police had finally arrived. The official news outlets reported on a vicious crime. A beauty clinic named Beauty Immortal was found to be using dark arts to perform beauty treatments for its clients, causing a major public scandal. The report condemned superstitious practices, and the clinic was shut down and its operators prosecuted. I looked at the thank you message from Leo on my phone. I simply replied, "You're welcome." Nina's goal had been her friend's unborn baby, which she intended to use to make face masks. She wanted to become as beautiful as her sister Chloe, return to the entertainment industry, and become a powerful actress. While Leo was away at an event, his mother had demanded that Nina sign divorce papers because she was infertile. Leo had planted a listening device on her. While we were waiting outside the clinic that day, he heard everything. He immediately sent his mother abroad and had a vasectomy. The two of them talked it out and reconciled. Nina gave up her dream of returning to the entertainment world. We had planned the whole sting operation. We waited until her friend gave birth. Nina went in, pretending to make the trade, but she was wired with a hidden camera and had already alerted the police. Meanwhile, I was on a bus back to the village where I was born, Resurrection Creek. I was going to find someone, the woman who raised me until I was 18, the one whose face I never got to see one last time. Grandma, because during the raid on the clinic, I saw her. I was sure I hadn't been mistaken. In that fleeting glance, I saw an old, wrinkled face with a sinister smile, and her slightly stooped back. But wasn't she dead? She died 3 years ago. My parents died the day I was born, up on the burial mounds behind the village. The villagers all said I was a cursed star destined to bring misfortune. Only a village mortician, a childless old woman, took me in. I called her Grandma. Grandma would often stroke my head and sigh deeply. She said she made her living from the dead, a death dealer, and was cursed with so much energy that she was fated to be alone. I was a cursed star who'd kill my parents. She figured the two of us together would cancel each other out. From a young age, I learned how to do makeup for the dead. Grandma said that even though being a mortician was a despised profession, having a skill meant I could at least support myself after she was gone. She made me practice on a wooden block shaped like a human head. She was extremely strict with me about this, tolerating no laziness. I both respected and feared her. I left Resurrection Creek for college and never expected that to be our last goodbye. When I returned for winter break, all I found was Grandma's suicide note and a small earthen mound where she was buried. Her letter demanded that I continue the family trade as a mortuary makeup artist for the rest of my life. If I didn't, she'd come back as a ghost to haunt me. All she left me were 3 small huts and that wooden head. Now, I stood before the small, familiar huts. They weren't covered in dust and cobwebs, as I'd expected. Even my practice head was clean. Could it be that Grandma wasn't really dead? But then why would she be at the Beauty Immortal Clinic in the city? Grandma had spent her entire life in Resurrection Creek. She had never left. As I was thinking, I heard footsteps approaching from a distance. It was Mrs. Davis, the mother of one of the heavy hitters who had been cleaning the huts as a thank you. The heavy hitters were from Resurrection Creek. The 3 of them had signed a predatory contract with Gigi's Grubs Company. They were too scared to break it, and to attract more viewers, Gigi had manipulated and threatened them into eating all sorts of bizarre things. Over time, their bodies broke down. One night, after a stream, they ate themselves to death. Mrs. Davis's eyes were filled with tears, her wrinkled face full of gratitude. "Emma, thank goodness you spoke up. Otherwise my son would never have been able to rest in peace." I patted her hand. She enthusiastically invited me to her house for a meal. I politely declined, but she still brought me a lot of food. Lying in the small hut, the dark night exuded a strange aura. The air was thick with a repressive feeling, and a strange fog seemed to envelop me. My consciousness grew heavy. Faintly, I smelled a sweet, fishy stench. My eyelids felt like they were being forced shut. I couldn't muster any strength. I heard footsteps, sometimes heavy, sometimes light. It was Grandma's walk. She had broken her leg years ago after preparing a body for burial and had walked with a limp ever since. She drew closer, her hand gently stroking my face. It was ice cold. I smelled a strong, foul odor. Click! It was the sound of Grandma opening her small leather case. A wave of panic washed over me. Grandma never let that case out of her sight. It was filled with the powders and materials she used for mortuary makeup. She only ever opened it when she was preparing a body. Grandma, what was she planning to do? I heard her chanting in a strange, eerie tone. My whole body began to ache. My face felt like it was being pricked by needles as Grandma's cold hands patted my skin, applying layer after layer of something. She leaned close to my ear, and goosebumps erupted on my skin. A cold breath whispered, "My dear Emma, now that you're grown, it's time to repay Grandma." My soul was being violently squeezed, gradually separating from my body. Grandma, she wanted my body. "My dear Emma, you finally understand. Be a good girl and give your body to Grandma." Such a perfect vessel of pure een. The sharp, eerie voice echoed in my ear. My consciousness was fading. Was I really not going to make it out of Resurrection Creek tonight? Suddenly, a sharp voice cried out, "You tricked me." I slowly walked out from a corner of the hut and smiled faintly. "Long time no see, Grandma." Grandma had already possessed my body. The wooden mannequin head. I replied calmly, "Just a little self-preservation, Grandma." Grandma's puppet body, like a broken doll, collapsed to the floor as the wooden head let out a series of shrieks. "You wretched girl. You knew all along." I nodded. Of course. Mrs. Davis had told me that she had been so devastated by her son's death that she had wanted to drown herself in the river. The night she went to the river, she saw Grandma leaving the village in the dead of night. She was so terrified that she abandoned her plan and ran home. So, I did the makeup on the wooden head to make it look like me. And just as I expected, Grandma couldn't wait and came for me tonight. Grandma gave a sinister smile. "Clever girl." Then her tone softened. "Emma, let me go. For the sake of raising you, I'll give you all my money. You could do whatever you want." I opened Grandma's small leather case. The familiar foul smell wafted out. Just as I thought. It was the same smell that had clung to Chloe Nash. "Grandma, if I'm not mistaken, you're the one who killed my parents." My voice was calm. "You did it for my body, for my vessel of pure een." A vessel of pure een attracts ghosts. How could it possibly curse my parents to death? When I came back 3 years ago, an auntie who was close to my parents told me their deaths were suspicious. Grandma let out a vicious laugh. So what of it? You think you can get away? She murmured ominously. A mortician gives life. Even if the king of hell wants you at midnight, a mortician can keep you till dawn. Come out. As soon as she finished speaking, a wave of energy filled the air. It was Mrs. Davis. There was a large, gaping hole in her neck. Her eye sockets were black voids, her face a pale, bluish white. 2 garish red circles were painted on her cheeks. She charged straight at me. I immediately dodged to the side. You killed Mrs. Davis. Grandma laughed maniacally. So what? She's just a dead body. Mrs. Davis charged at me again. I quickly threw a handful of cinnabar powder at her. It had no effect. Useless. I taught you everything you know. I know exactly what you're capable of. I kicked Mrs. Davis hard. She slammed into the wall, her head nearly falling off. She charged again. I twisted around and slapped a paper talisman onto her back. Her eyes closed, her body went limp, and she collapsed to the floor, motionless. I let out a breath of relief. Thank goodness I'd gotten a talisman in advance. At the same time, police sirens wailed in the distance. I stood up and sighed. You still have to believe in science. Everything came to light. The Beauty Immortal clinic belonged to Grandma. The infant skin masks, the corpse oil lipsticks, the skincare products, they were all her creations. Her life was supposed to have ended 3 years ago. She had been using the pure souls of infants to sustain her body, all while waiting for my own body to mature. It was all over. I returned to the city. I didn't stream for several days. When I finally went online again, it wasn't as deserted as I'd expected. Hey, Emma. Good evening. Haven't seen you stream in a few days. Gotta say, we missed you. Emma, what makeup look are you teaching today? I've got my notebook ready. I adjusted my camera. I said flatly. I went back to my hometown to pay respects to my family. Tonight, we'll be sharing a look inspired by the Ming and Qing dynasties. The chat started scrolling again. Oh, come on, Emma, you've got to keep up with the trends. Everyone's talking about idol makeup now. It's super popular. You should check out that girl group that just made a huge comeback. I thought about it and opened my phone. The top trending topic on X was them. I clicked on it. A group photo from their debut appeared on the screen. Face after face, all exquisitely beautiful. Their skin was flawless, so perfect it was unsettling. They all radiated a seductive aura. I allowed a soft laugh. You're right, they are truly beautiful.